have some minutes from the last meeting, November 7th. Any comments or corrections?
I found them complete, and if anybody has any complaints, I will make a motion to approve.
Second.
Mike?
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
John?
Yes. Okay. We have a guest, Chief Phillips from the Volunteer Fire Department.
Just one thing, Fire Devils asked me to attend to the board your deepest thanks for the use of Bam Hall last Saturday for their crafts fair. It was a success. I think the number of the people that came were down a little bit due to the weather, but they still paid off very well for them.
Good. We're always glad to help them out. Anything else, John?
That's it for me tonight.
Okay. I think we'll slide over here to Mr. Troy.
Okay, I just want to make a motion to take our Time Warner franchise fee of $4,132.28 and make a motion to put that into the Land Acquisition and Improvement Fund.
Is that a new idea, or?
I just came up with that, but we try it out, see if it works.
I like the idea, I'll second that. Call for the vote. Just no discussion.
No.
Sure?
I think I heard the story before.
Yes.
PJ?
Yes.
And John?
Yes.
I will concede to Mr. Kavanaugh.
Couple things. Had our second bicentennial committee meeting. We had one fellow we asked to come and join us that night. It was Pastor Ron Miller from across the street. Of course, if you drive around here, they've done some community type events, and well, he offered to help us with advice, vendors lists. That goes into the generator things that we might power requirements. It was very, very helpful.
Great.
And he and Nancy are going to get together and exchange, maybe he's going to give us a look at their vendors list and, what he thought was a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And going to be some expense involved in this. There will be, and I think we knew that.
So we've been saving for 100 years.
200 years, actually. So, like I said, I want to thank everybody that came to that. In particular, I wanted to mention Pastor Ron because he was very helpful. And I'm sure we'll continue to be. He's a great neighbor. A couple other things they're looking at is, you've probably seen them, I think they're up there, a series of plates. I can't see that far tonight, but
Those are plates.
the sesquicentennial plate from 150 years, maybe it's the one on the left. I don't know. Thinking about making some more of those for the 200th with the newer buildings as opposed to the old buildings, or maybe a mix of both. The design on those is, for anybody's comment or consideration, but, they'll be around. I mean, we've got plates here from 50 years ago, and I'm sure these will be here for the rest of the time as well, so.
What kind of quantities did we do those in previously?
Probably more than we should have, because there's at least 100 plates left up at the museum. I know there are many homes around the township too. They were
Well, we could,
given away.
it's hard, we'll do some new plates, I think that's a great idea, and then we'll offer up some of these old plates we have for sale.
Or mix the
Few
two.
back, or mix the two, and there's a lot of people that are here that had no idea that we
Yeah.
didn't have those plates.
Yeah.
We have the ability to communicate a little better than we did
We've already
only 50 years ago, so.
We've already shown the previous design, which I think this new one will probably be similar to a company down in Alliance that
Okay.
I think was involved with the last print of these. So, things are moving along here. We should have some, once we get this from Pastor Ron, what some of his numbers were as far as vendors. I'm going to say around the first year we should be able to ballpark. It would be an estimate, but what we may have into this. And of course, Mike's been involved too, because there's going to be a presence at the July 2nd fireworks, where we're going to have, I guess Bainbridge is having the same thing, but a kiosk kind of thing.
No, what they were talking about is a kiosk set up with some historical items from Bainbridge. And I talked to them, I said, well, could we get in on that, or, maybe get our own tent for that? And apparently they got a really, really, really big tent from Jaga Lake on the closing. So I said, yeah, no problem, I'll give you all the room you want. So yeah, they were up with that. And there's an old timers baseball game scheduled for that day also. And the information that they had, so we're trying to figure out, what's up. I guess there's a team out of Solon that does this, and they'll be playing against the service people of Bainbridge and Auburn. So you guys start getting in shape.
Okay, 5:30, boys, we're going to have workouts.
Yeah, so we're gonna get in with that. To any of these guys that would be interested in taking care of that issue for us. But
We bought them that nice lift, and they could have used it for the weight room.
That's right.
Part of designing that tent, they want some historical items and things like that. And Ashley Bailey, who did such a fabulous job up here at the museum, and was just an outstanding kid, who's already contacted her. Oh, she would love to be involved with this. So yeah,
She's a lady now.
she's something. She's something. There was an April 23rd event that we didn't quite have nailed down until just recently here. The school contacted Nancy, and we're going to be part of that. That's a reenactment of the establishment of the two townships. We're to provide some background information of, I'm not sure, undetermined length yet, some pictures, but the kids are going to, this is during an art festival, which I don't remember the name of it, but it's late spring art festival, as they do every year. I've been to it, I don't remember the name. High school students are going to be the actors in costume reenacting this thing. And we're just to provide some background. I think the script itself actually for the reenactment comes from the school. So we're part of that now too. So everything's kind of falling into place. Appreciate whatever help we can get from anybody for just about anything. Would apply towards our 200th birthday, and contact Nancy or any one of us, I guess, and let us know if you have anything that would be helpful or like to contribute. You guys all got, I think, she's at least got a carbon copy of this big thick package of, this is background information from the staff, Geauga County Planning Commission, in regards to our ZC 2016-01 amendment. This just came down today, I believe. It goes back to the informal review back in the spring, February, March, and everything that staff contributed before the Planning Commission comments came out. So I'm just going to ask you guys to look that over, and we'll deal with that then, I guess, at our next meeting.
Okay, yeah, 7 o'clock.
I'll tell you, color copiers are wonderful. We used to get these things and everything that was highlighted was just black and you couldn't tell what got changed from.
That's all I have.
It's a new age, Mike.
I'll tell you. Color TVs are next. Mark my
No,
words.
I don't think so. Mr. May, what, you got anything for them?
I do.
Well, let's hear it.
I have your regular reports in front of you, including your revenue summary report, fund summary report. I have a payment listing report in front of you for the warrants in front of you for your signatures. Warrants number 3430 through 3477 totaling $135,563.14. The appropriation status report that I have in front of you, gentlemen, there's no ordinary appropriation status report. I'm getting ready to do our temporary appropriations. I'd like to get them in front of you at the next scheduled meeting. So this shows what we've spent so far this year. I've made some notes on it as far as what will not be reflected in 2017 Some obvious things such as the bond fund that was transferred in and out of the general fund and the road and bridge fund. And there's some other notes on here. But something to take a look at, and my plan is to generally reflect what's here with some minor adjustments here and there for inflation, increase in our healthcare expenditures, which went up about 10% for the insurance. And we also will have a bond payment, which I made a note of, that's going to be added on to our current expenses. So something to mull over, get back to me, and then hopefully I can have something in front of you at the next meeting. I'll also get with our department heads to review and refine that.
Thank you, Fred.
That's what I've
Very
got.
helpful.
Just a couple things. We had our opening of the garage, open house at the garage on Saturday. A little bit of snow fell to remind people what we do down there. But we had nice attendance, and just want to thank Nancy, who really did the grunt work of everything to get it going, and Mike, who cooked hot dogs for a couple hours out in the snow. And we thought that might throw him for a loop, but he took it like he did it
It was
every
3
day.
hours out in the snow. They
That was 3 hours, that's right. I think everybody who was there, we had some of our neighbors, we've got a lot of our neighbor service directors come by in the last 10 days, and they've all been very surprised at what we built down there. And so that was very nice to hear.
Note that every resident that I talked to that came in just was very pleased with the facility and the thought that went into it, and looking to the future, and everybody was very, very, very complimentary. And this is a good job that you and the boys here did on that.
Thank you. It was a little unusual that we did employ our road guys in all the initial design meetings to throw input into what we need to do, how we need to operate this thing, and how we need to, because we did a complete redesign of the building to use it entirely different than the way it was the previous building was used. So far, I think it's working pretty well. It's more efficient, and that was our goal, is to be able to boost our efficiency, safety, and compliance with a few other agencies. I was in the office here the other day, and a lot of people have gotten letters from NOPEC, and saying that they were changing suppliers. And our representative, I happened to be here when she stopped by, and she's actually going to come to our next meeting to answer any specific questions. But essentially what happened is they weren't too surprised by this change in vendor. As a matter of fact, they've been having some issues, and they were able to they were able to negotiate with a new supplier, and there has been, no break in service, and she felt that this new supplier should be a lot more reliable as far as their dealings with them, that were apparently rather shaky there at the end. So anyway, she's going to come in and just to answer any specific questions, but everybody in Auburn is a member of OPEC. NOPEC. The only way you're not in NOPEC is if you opted out, and everybody has the opportunity to opt out. So they do, obviously, they do electricity and gas. And
They've changed suppliers before.
Yeah.
And it was smooth then, and I would anticipate the same.
it doesn't seem like a big discount, but it is, you're getting about 5 or 6% reduction if you're residents. Okay. And, you add that up over a few years, and that's a fair amount of money. So, I know the township has also taken advantage of a couple of programs that NOPEC provided to help promote energy efficiency here in the township. So, that's a little bit on NOPEC. We did, on old business, we did receive this NatureWorks grant. And of course, as with any government program, there's a lot of paperwork that's entailed in that. And I don't know if you guys got that letter.
It's all gotta be executed, and you can't
And
spend it until it's executed.
Yeah, Nancy's got that.
Watershed Partners have offered to help us execute, not a grant, but fill out all this paperwork. It's somewhat intense. You guys have any objection to that, or?
No, they helped us in a large part to fill out the application, and they've done these for quite a few of our surrounding townships, so I think that's,
So
stay
should I
with-
take that as a motion?
we stay with who brought us here, so yeah, so
Okay,
we enter in on
I'll second that.
Watershed Partners.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John?
Yes. Land use plan update, any comments?
We were going to discuss that at the next meeting after the amendment. We're asked zoning commission members, whoever's available, to briefly explain the amendment and some, just comment on some of the work that's gone into the updated land use plan, which that's been going on for, it's been close to a year, I'm sure, I think now, so I would think the right time to act on this would be after those comments. And,
Okay, so we'll move that for 2 weeks, 2 meetings. Grill purchase. I don't know, Mr. Troy, do you have something to
who's driving
do with
that?
that?
Well, we had discussed it, and the grill there is getting a little worn. Until they're getting worn, the cheaper ones, because the lid keeps going farther and farther back. So I was thinking we may want to evaluate getting something a smidge more substantial than the.
We give $68 for that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, and we've already gotten 5 years.
Well,
now.
That's right.
12 years ago, yeah.
So you guys said they would keep a lookout and make a recommendation for the, they'd help me out with that.
Okay, well,
Can't we just wait for the next large item drop-off day?
That's a possibility.
well, we actually have to use it at that day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, since you're driving that
I'll drive
grilling
it, I'll
bus,
see if I can see what I can find and keep my eyes open.
which one of you is the grill expert?
Well,
Boy,
obviously,
they're all
none-
looking the other
It'd have to
way.
be Mikey.
Mikey.
I say obviously none of them if they bought the last one.
Oh, no, we were ordered to buy the least expensive grill we could find.
I don't believe that was ever least expensive was thrown into that, but ordered to buy a grill, I can tell, I know who ordered that, so.
So, well, we have until the next event to come
Hook
up
up
with
with Mr. Ludwig. He seems to be a grill expert. He's got that grilling look on his face back there.
Okay.
I don't know, it's one of those things that's 30 foot long with a...
Yeah. Like the fried, like the one.
It's gotta be able to cook 25 hot dogs at a time, that's all.
Okay. I have this, I'm not sure exactly where this came from, but a quote to refurbish the conference table. And I hate to say it, but my comment is that I think we should go a little longer.
I was
My-
taken aback on that too, I gotta say.
To me, getting rid of these nicks and scratches would be akin to welding up the Liberty Bell.
And we all know we don't weld on that.
That's right. So,
I'm gonna say if it had some historic thing that we really had to keep it, you know, if it was 100 years old or something, but it's not. It's table.
I think we can safely say that refinishing the conference table died for lack of a motion.
Lack of interest, okay. Well, we do have some interviews to do. So, anybody here needs your agenda signed or a note from Mr. Troyan? Now would be the time to get it.
Apologize, I called you more than I thought you were Henrik, I just glanced at you, Carl Schneider. John, nice to meet you, John. I don't know if that means just that that'll be your next step for you taking Henrik's position
No, I don't want that job.
in time.
Okay, do we have any questions or comments before we go into executive session? Move to go into executive session for employee and BCA applicant interviews.
I'll second. Could we say that there will be no business conducted following the executive session?
You may.
Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
PJ,
Yes.
John,
Yes.